Let's break down what a $10,000 work week looks like in our shop. I'm a little bit all over in this video, so I'll just kind of show you how why we need to organize better and move the cars around. I'll break down the numbers on all the jobs that we have and just give you more like a vlog style video of what we have going on in the shop. And if you want help on growing your detailing business and you want more help on the sales and marketing and all things growing, check Detailers Growth Academy down below. That's where I have in-depth training on marketing your business, like creating your own website or optimizing your Google business profile or doing SEO on your website. You can learn about improving your sales process, properly pricing your services so that you're profitable, and just all things on the business side of detailing. If you're interested in that, click the link below and learn more. So here's another reason why you never want to price a motorcycle lower just because it looks smaller, and that's because of all this. So if you can see around, we disassembled a lot of the motorcycle so we can get into, we still can't reach everything on the bike, but by removing all these pieces it does help us get to other spots. But like you take up a lot of space just disassembling it. And then it was a lot messier 2 minutes ago, but on this vehicle right here, let me take you off the tripod. On this vehicle right here, we are doing a little bit of water damage restoration, a little bit of odor removal. So we had all these interior pieces, all the seats on the ground right here. We have the carpeting and the floor mats outside drying even more. So we had all of that all around the ground. Obviously, we still have to move the seats. Then we have this truck right here that is getting PPF, but you know, we have the tables out for the kits and such. And then he doesn't need that much space, but you still want to give him plenty of space to actually work around the vehicle. And then we have this motorcycle right here that I just finished up organizing a little bit. But a motorcycle doesn't look like it's a lot of work, but that's why you never want to underquote it or price it lower, because it's equally as much work as you do working on a car, because you have to remove quite a bit of stuff to be able to get to more area, right? Like you have the seat here, those two things right there. I don't know much about bikes, but in order to get all the way down here or to get around here, it helps to remove all these different pieces. But again, if you're going to disassemble a motorcycle, that's going to take up space unless you have to organize it. So yeah, like there's a lot of things to at least specifically for what we're doing right now, it can get very messy, and if you're not on top of it, it just gets messier and messier, and like I hate things being messy. So now what we're gonna do is we have the car on these rollers thing because we took out the battery, so can't move it. So we put it on the rollers. It's pretty easy to move once you get the wheels in the direction that you want it to go, but before then it takes quite a bit of pushing to move it in that direction. So the car is currently yay way and we need it this way. So we're gonna push the nose here, push it forward that way. That's why I was moving all the stuff from the motorcycle, because we need to make room. We're moving it right now because we have another smoke odor that's in here, plus a window tint over there. So that's why we're moving this here right now. And there you go, I caught it, there you go. So now it's super easy to move around. Now it's super easy. Once you just break that initial friction and the wheels are pointing in the direction that you want it to, it's actually very easy for it to move around. See, now I can move it by myself. Is the top good? There you go. That should be good. Just let it. That should be good. That's good. And we moved all this because we had to get this Tesla in for a smoke odor removal. The smell is not that bad, so it's a pretty, it's going to be a thorough cleaning and then an ozone treatment. And then on the side of this wall over here, we have Angel tinting a 2026 Mercedes in ceramic all around, excluding the windshield. So it's quite a bit of work for us today in the shop. So if we break down the numbers, the truck right there is 8,100. The Sequoia right here is $2,000. This was initially going to be 800, but once we did our diagnostics and found that there was water underneath the carpeting, ripping out the interior, cleaning all that, drying it, doing that, up the price. The thing about that vehicle is that the customer purchased the vehicle from a dealership 3 weeks ago. So you have to assume that the dealership probably detailed it. And then he had an odor in it and he didn't like it. So he started cleaning it himself and like cleaned the interior, shampooed, whatever. Didn't work. Then took it to another detailer and they cleaned it, shampooed it, did the whole process. The odor's still there. The first 10 minutes that it's in the shop, we're like, hey, let's inspect, let's probe it, let's check if it's wet anywhere. The probe is beeping, meaning it's wet. We take off a few bolts, remove the carpeting, and we see water, and we're like, hey, this is your issue. This is why the odor hasn't gone away. It's because there's literally water underneath your flooring or your carpeting. So we're gonna get that taken care of for him, and that is $2,000 plus whatever we have to replace if we have to replace. We want to save the carpeting, but if we have to replace it, we're gonna just replace it. And then that Tesla smoke odor is 800, and then the 10 over there is 400, plus the work that we had yesterday and any work that we have in the next few days. And I didn't break down the truck here. The reason why it's 8,100 is because it's a full body PPF, and it received some paint correction because the condition the paint came in, it needed some better finishing because it had just got sprayed, resprayed, and the finish wasn't all that. So we spent some time doing a bit of polishing. It wasn't like heavy paint correction, it was just a light polish to kind of clean up the paint a little bit before we installed the PPF. So it was prepping it, polishing it, and then doing a full body PPF. Now keep in mind, on $8,100, we only make money on the labor revenue, not any material, right? Now if you want to like mark it up and tack on 10%, whatever, sure, you can make money on the film, but typically when you mark up film, like let's say if you're lawn care, you're gonna mark up film because like if someone needs some you know, sod or mulch or whatever, you're gonna send someone to go pick it up from the store. You're gonna bring it back to your shop. Maybe you're gonna store it for a little bit. So like there's actual hard costs associated to like sending a tech to go get the mulch, driving the company van, wasting gas, wasting tire wear, bringing it back and paying for that time, then storing it on a shelf that's only there for storage and taking up space in your garage or shop or whatever. Like there's hard costs associated to that kind of material, which is why you would have a markup of some kind because you need a overhead recovery on those things. Whereas with PPF film, I mean, all we do is order the film. We order the amount of film that we need for the truck. So like there's nothing really to mark up. Again, we don't. If you do, fantastic, but we don't. So out of 81,000, this was, call it I think it was 2,000. So realistically, off of labor revenue that we have is 6,100. So yes, it's 8,100 in total. 2,000 of that is material. So we only like what we're actually working with when we're working on the vehicle is 6,100. So let's say if you wanted to make 90 bucks an hour on this job, you'd have 67 budgeted hours. If you wanted to make $120 an hour on this job, you would have 51 hours, budgeted hours to complete this job. And that's kind of how we look at all the jobs that we do, is we base it off of labor revenue based off our hourly rate goal. So the minimum number we try to hit across all our services, whether it's an engine detail, whether it's a mini interior detail, whether it's a water damage restoration, the minimum number we try to hit for our hourly rate goal is $85 an hour. And then anything above that is just better. Like a lot of them on the 10 jobs, we hit around 100 to 140. Or on some of the water damage restoration that we do, we hit 120 to 160 an hour. So our minimum is 85, but obviously if you can just get it higher and higher, the better. Like on our engine details, we'll charge 140 and we finish it in 30 minutes, So our minimum is 85, but then the maximum is just however efficient you are on that job. And a part of not only how efficient you are, but like how good you are at selling that job, for instance, right? Like a big mistake, and I talked about this a while ago, is like when people sell odor removal services, they usually just tack on like $50 to like an interior detail and call that the odor treatment. Whereas with us, like we'll charge $800 for odor treatment because like it's the way you position the job and your specific service and process that you do to deliver the results that the customer wants. What I'm gonna do on the bike right here is just, you see those, whatever those are over there, I gotta still rotary those and then follow with a DA, same thing right there. You can't really tell, but that piece right there, I have to do the same. Now with this one, like this paint, well the bike came in very bad condition. It was just, it just, as you can imagine, it's a very old bike, so it has some wear and tear on it. So what we want to do is just kind of bring it from a 2 to a 7. So we're not going for perfection. We're not gonna go and chase every swirl. We just, again, bring it from a 2 to a 7. I don't have any before shots because we already started working on it, but for sure we've had brought up the aesthetics of it by a lot because the chrome was all faded out. The paint was heavily swirled that it almost looked chalky. And then, you know, once we finish all that, like it's really gonna come all together. So there's still plenty of swirls in there. It's just nowhere near as much as when it first came in. Still gotta polish it. Still gotta polish that. Still gotta access this bottom part right here. But yeah, when it comes to a truck, when it comes to a motorcycle, do not charge less just because like, oh look, it's so small, it's a motorcycle. Disassembling, getting to all the intricate areas, hand polishing all the aluminum or the metal, like it still takes a lot of time. So, you know, if you're gonna go and charge, you know, $500 for doing all this, you'd be undercharging. Like you'd want to charge, you know, $800, $1,200, $1,400 for this type of work. Which is, we had another customer bring a smaller bike actually, but it was the same level of work that we do here, and that one was also $1,400. So yes, it looks small. You think, oh, you know, $400 and that'll get it done. But once you actually get into it, like it's still a lot of work. But that's gonna wrap it up right there. I don't want to take the camera to show you the tint because the customer's there and they're talking, so didn't want to do that. But I will end it right there. We'll get back to work. And if you want that training, check Detailers Growth Academy down below, and I will see you guys on the next one.